Hello, my name is Tunji Anjorin. I'm the team lead for Benin Bronzes NFT cultural exchange project. The Benin Bronzes NFT exchange project is an NFT project, like the name suggests, but I think we're pretty early in the NFT industry, and from an independent and African perspective, there are not a lot of NFTs that have the potential for mass attraction. So our project is Benin Bronzes cultural exchange project, and our aim is to accelerate knowledge about the Benin mask, the Quinidia mask, and the cultural exchange aspect is when we have the NFT portraits in different cultural attires, jewelry, and hairstyle. So from all regions and ethnicities globally. So I'm talking Oceania. We can have countries like Fiji, Micronesia, Australia, and then in the Middle East we can have countries like Lebanon, and then in Asia we can have Bangladesh and Taiwan, and also locally we can have Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Edo, and Lagos attires. So it's a curiosity, kill the cat strategy where you see outfits and cultural attires and jewelry that resonates with you, but then you're asking yourself, what mask is that? We want people to know about these masks being taken from Nigeria in the 16th century and ended up being dispersed in Europe to the point whereby it affected sort of the artistic renaissance and reception globally. And they are now currently in museums in Stuttgart, Germany, New York, USA, and the British Museum. Thank you very much for that question. That's a great question. So I think we're in a post-lockdown world, and as things slowed up and we were pretty much locked indoors, people had to re-strategize and figure out how to adapt to the new world we live in. So I think the NFT community or industry sort of blew up. Cryptocurrency has been steadily gaining momentum with the whole DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance. So I think it was natural that art was attached to the blockchain, and that was sort of the genesis of how the whole NFT market came about. But for me, I have 16 years plus in content creation. I'm the editor-in-chief for Panaramic. Our premier product is a line of African historical comic books. So I think I heard about NFTs a lot towards the end of 2019, around clubhouse circuits and whatnot. And I naturally was just trying to understand, as with every person, what exactly is an NFT, which stands for non-fungible token. But I think further down the line in 2020, someone reached out to me to develop content for their project, and I think every time we sent us stuff, we would send back something they were very pleased with, which was very high quality. And then we continued to do that till we got to a point whereby he was like, you know what, we want to bring you guys in as a partner. So we started to tinker with what it would look like for that particular project. But I think, as a creative, creativity can be unlimited. So we started to tinker with an idea, from our own end, from a content perspective. And one of the comic books that we developed that I mentioned from our African historical comic book series of Kutus Chronicles tells the story of 1897, the Benin Kingdom. The comic book tells the tale of how the Benin Kingdom, modern-day Edo State, was destroyed, and how thousands of plaques and bronze and ivories were taken from Edo States overseas to Europe, and the British Kingdom was burnt. So I think when we started to conceive of an NFT idea, that was an idea that resonated strongly with us. So we took it and we ran with it, and here we are. So I don't. So why NFT or why not NFT? I'm not like I don't come from a huge technical or a DeFi or a cryptocurrency background. Like I said, I come more from a content creation background, but we're clearly moving towards an era that's being termed as Web3. So from my limited understanding, from my layman's perspective, Web 1 was pretty much the early stages of the internet. I don't know, Amazon, High Five is like Web 2, Facebook is definitely Web 2, social media. But Web 3 is where, you know, attaching your finances to your online presence, being able to go to the metaverse and have a different cultural attire. Pretty much, I think Ready Player One, that movie is usually identified as a good case study for what Web3 could be like. So for us, the world is sort of moving in that direction. So I think it made sense to see what things could be like from an African perspective. I think things that don't exist anymore or were lost can be recreated in the metaverse or in Web3. So I think NFTs have a lot of potential for creating opportunities for creatives, people in the financial industry and people in the tech industry as well.
Absolutely. So part of the conversation about the Benin Bronzes is that, the conversation in the art space about the Benin Bronzes is that they want them returned to Nigeria, and you're selling NFTs to people who are not necessarily in Nigeria, so it's the global market. There are people who might say, oh well, you're doing the same thing, you're giving it out. Like, how do you justify that? Like, what do you say to those kind of skeptics?
So, first of all, in our research, we looked for the top 10 most recognizable masks in the world. And it wasn't up to date, but I think it's a few years ago, we saw that the Benin Queen Idia mask did not come up. There are other masks that are more popular, and even in the Black Panther movie when they're introducing Killmonger, that mask was highlighted in the story. So it's a big cultural reference, and people go to these museums in the West, and they pay for tours to take pictures, to take videos, to learn about these things. But these masks were not created then. And I think our goal is to let the global community on the internet know that these masks are creating value for people who are not the creators and are just holding them. And we want to create awareness and also see how we can spearhead conversations where the parties dialoguing and having this disputed debate about the Benin Bronzes being returned have an amplified voice in a sense. So we're not giving out the culture or anything. No physical aspects of the mask are involved. It's just using the Benin Bronzes as a symbol, because the bronzes are the ivories, like I said, the brasses, the plaque, all kinds of things. We're honing in on specifically the mask, and also sort of the story of the mask as well, and the woman behind the mask. Because as the kingdom was burnt down in the 16th century, definitely there's a reason why the mask still exists today. So Queen Idia must have been a legend, and her legend was lost in time with the destroying of the kingdom. So we want to re-educate ourselves as well as the world in our project. Lynx is the spokesperson for the Benin Bronze Cultural Exchange Project. He actually should be the one doing this video, but he is using his voice, he's lending his voice to the project to amplify what is going on with our project, trying to be a use case where the internet and a real social issue like this debate of the bronzes returning merge. So essentially it's a hybrid project, not just a regular PFP profile NFT project. So we're dropping, that's the NFT term, in early February. And the goal is to build our community organically and to market to the international audience who are more familiar with the NFT market space, and also educate sort of the independent local market about the potential of their arts being attached to blockchain and going forth to create revenue for themselves, for us, and to be able to accelerate our voices and our stories in avenues that are available and we see fit. So there are multiple institutions archiving, dialoguing, and creating support systems for the bronzes to be returned back. And we are very new into this space, but we want to create a trifecta of activities to achieve our goal. And by that, we're using the past, which is history, we're using present, which is art, as art imitates life, and we're using the future, which is Web3 technology and NFTs, to create an avenue where we can, like I said, recreate things that have been lost. For example, the British burnt down the Benin Kingdom, and if we can use technology to, as best as possible, create a replica where there's a 3D tour to see what the kingdom was like, why not do that? So it means a lot to be able to re-educate the world with regards to what's the mighty ancient empire of Benin used to be, and remind people in current Edo State, it's Edo State, Nigeria, what greatness they historically were surrounded with. The walls of Benin were actually a ninth wonder of the world, and they are on par and almost rival the walls of China. So these are things that we feel should not be forgotten. So first of all, I speak for the entire team. We believe the bronzes are invaluable. We can't put a price on them. If you try to, I don't think anybody will be able to afford it. So we think that we cannot contribute to the value because it's already immensely high. For hundreds of years, they've been locked up and valued and shown to the public as a library of the world, is what certain museums term themselves. But these things were created here on ground in methods that were so advanced that even till today, it's even I think a 3D printer would struggle to do such. So we're not adding to the value. We're just trying to amplify and accelerate awareness about the masks, about the bronzes, and about the rich culture that was in the West African Empire of Benin. Yeah, it's an awareness project that is using cultural exchange to create a social connection, and also tell the story of Queen Idia to a modern world. So if you're using the Statue of Liberty on a T-shirt or a face cap, it's public domain property, so you don't have to seek legal ramifications to do that. So the Benin Bronzes fall under the same category. They've been around in the public domain for so long, so there are all kinds of NFTs and art that replicates the Queen Idia mask. So we wouldn't be the first to do so. The project goes live on the 8th of February 2022. The project is run out of pocket internally by our team to come to life. And we will be able to mint, like I said, on February 8th. And we are trying to, mitigate the gas fee not being astronomical for the local audience, as we want to include them as best as possible. So look out for our website, beninbronze.io, and look out for Benin Bronze on Instagram, Twitter, and Discord.